Welcome everybody, and once again we are putting some good friend of mine on the rack with some questions. I'm very pleased to say that we're in Chianti Classico this time, and at the very famous Badia Coltibuono. The winery doesn't need any explanation other than the fact that if you're in the area of Chianti Classico and you don't come to this winery, you've missed a great treat. So you heard it here first. My friend here, Roberto Stucchi Prinetti, I think I got that right. If I don't, I'm in trouble after. Is going to be put on the rack with my high five with Tony Wood questions. So with
maybe on the grill, since we're at Coltibuono,
yes,
as a simple a grill.
I stand corrected once again on the grill with the heat turned up. So 5 minutes approximately, and we better start now. What is the most aggravating and annoying aspect of the wine trade?
Ooh, hard to pick. There's definitely a few. Well, personally, I would say that people make a lot of assumptions based on the fact that, for example, I'm here in a place like this, and it's like I find that aggravating. You know, things are not always what they seem, and it's like people make assumptions that they kind of put you in a specific box because of they see you here.
Yeah, that's an interesting answer, because I've heard this once or twice before, so a good answer. Yes, it never seems what it actually is, and there's a lot of hard work. Okay, next, the most valuable bottle of wine you own.
I don't have a good wine collection or even a decent wine collection. I buy wines that I drink, so I don't have any great wine in my cellar. I mean, there's wines here at Badia, really older vintages that have potential value, but yes, no, I don't have it. I'm not a wine collector.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I would like to, but in my next life maybe.
In your next life. Okay, fine. Your favourite champagne?
And I'm not a big champagne drinker, so I'll pass. I don't have a favorite champagne.
Honest answer. If you only had one wine to drink for the rest of your life, what would it be? One wine.
My gut reaction is I would stop drinking wine if I had to drink only one wine all my life. It's like, to me, it's about diversity. But, thinking twice, probably I wouldn't give up completely. I don't know. It's like, I might have this just because I'm so used to it, and it goes with everything. A young Chianti Classico.
Why not?
Yeah. So young Chianti Classico, I definitely would go for a big, great red wine. In what scenario you only have one wine? This is pretty dystopic, post-apocalyptic type thing, so there's probably going to be limitations on what food you have.
It was just my obtuse thought, I would say. I was thinking, what difficult question could I possibly ask next? And that was it. But, okay, fine, but you must have a wine as opposed to nothing, surely. So we'll say
But I like diversity in wines. I really like to change. So limiting to one would be tragic. Actually,
tragedy is beyond the bottle. Okay. Here's a question. Where's the door, just in case I'm in trouble here? The biggest mistake you've made in your wine career?
Well, my very first year at Coltibuono was here in 1985, and which came after 1984, which was a really cool and kind of one of the worst vintages in Chianti. So at that time we were bottling a white wine because it was so acidic and not very ripe grapes. We bottled it with some residual sugar, and we thought we had it down really well in the fermentation and everything. Well, we had 6,000 bottles that really fermented in the bottle, and it was an interesting mistake. A lot of corks being pushed out and popping.
What's that noise in the distance?
So that was a pretty major mistake as my entry at Coltibuono.
Can you remember what some of the sugar levels were?
No, but we had left, I don't know, maybe 8, 9 grams of sugar. I mean, a fair amount, because the wine had like above 10 in acidity. I mean, it was without a little bit of sugar.
I don't think that was totally your fault, because you came in year after, you inherited the previous year, which 84.
Well, I take full responsibility for it, but yes, it was a group effort.
Okay, fine. Brunello or Bordeaux?
Well, Brunello.
Okay, it's an easy one.
But again, I like both.
You have to choose
between the two.
Chianti Classico or Langhe?
Can I say anything else but Chianti Classico?
No.
But Langhe is I'm a big fan. So
yes. Why do you think I asked the question? I guess I know something about what's going on. What region in Italy has improved the quality of its wines the most over the last 15 years, in your opinion?
Well, given that all of the regions in Italy have improved a ton in the last 15 years, my radar is so much on Chianti Classico that I would say Chianti Classico, because there's been major changes, and I think a lot of very positive changes, but I claim for lack of sufficient in-depth knowledge of other regions.
I've got to sort of agree with that. I can't think of any region, maybe with Puglia bringing in coming in close second. Chianti Classico, the improvement is astonishing as far as I'm concerned.
On the other hand, also Sangiovese from Romagna in the last 15 years has made some big leaps, and I would say almost anywhere there's like great improvements.
Name one occurrence in your wine career that gives you the most satisfaction. This is always a difficult one.
Big fan of the 11 vintage. So it was probably the vintage that gave me the most satisfaction, because a very extreme vintage, heat, drought, but very abundant and pretty amazing in the quality. I think it's the one where you first learn how to adapt to the changes in climate, which have been drastic here. So I think it's the one where we kind of got it together in how to grow and make wine in this new climate.
Okay, fine. We're out of time, but I'm going to extend it for one question, maybe two. Wine reviewers, good or bad for the wine trade?
Well, there's everything good and bad, no, but I'd say for largely good, I think one has to take like everything with a grain of salt. There's many angles to that. I think one picks the one reviewer that you resonate with. So
I think there's two answers in one there. But I'll take that on board. And last question. Your favourite month in the vineyard and why?
I like April, because I like what happens between the vines. The cover crop, and that's when you start seeing real growth within the vines. And I'm always looking at the soil and what happens in the soil. And so April is a critical month for that. If you have a good cover crop that comes out, it's a good sign. And
I thank you for that. I've asked that question to many winemakers, and it always comes up April, May. And nobody has ever chosen anything other than April, May. Anyway, Roberto, I thank you for your time, and more especially, I thank you for your time.
we have to